Hello, and welcome to Daily English Whisper. My name is Max, and I'm really glad you are here with me today. Take a slow breath for a moment, relax your shoulders, and allow your mind to slow down just a little. This is your calm space for English. Here on this channel, we practice English slowly, clearly, and naturally. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to listen and try. Today's episode is called Listening Practice, Slow, Clear English, Daily Shadowing Routine. And in this episode, we will focus on something very important for your English: your listening. Many people study vocabulary. Many people study grammar, but listening is often the most difficult skill. Maybe this has happened to you. You read English and you understand. But when someone speaks English, everything suddenly becomes confusing. The words feel fast. The sounds feel different. And your brain says, "Wait, what?" If this has happened to you, please know something very important. You are not bad at English. Your brain simply needs more time to get used to the sound of the language. Think about this. When you hear your native language, you don't translate. You don't think about grammar. You simply understand. That happens because your brain has heard that language thousands and thousands of times. English works the same way. Your brain needs to hear English again, and again, and again. Not once a week, not only in a classroom, but in small, comfortable moments during your day. And here is a common myth many learners believe. Some people think, "I will only understand English if I live in an English-speaking country." But that is not true anymore. Today, you can bring English into your daily life wherever you live. Through podcasts, through videos, through short listening moments. Even 10 minutes a day can change your listening ability over time. Another myth people believe is this: I must understand every word. But real listening does not work like that. Even native speakers sometimes miss words in conversations. The goal is not perfection. The goal is familiarity. When English sounds become familiar to your ears, your brain begins to recognize patterns. Words start connecting. Sentences start making sense. And slowly, listening becomes easier. So today, I want to share one powerful idea with you. A simple idea, but a life-changing one for language learners. Your English improves when you create small daily listening routines. Not big study sessions, not stressful grammar drills, just small moments of listening, moments that feel natural in your life. For example, you might listen while making breakfast, or while organizing your desk, or while taking a quiet evening walk. These small listening moments train your brain in a gentle way. And when we combine listening with shadowing, repeating what you hear, your progress becomes even stronger, because your ears and your voice begin working together. So today, during this episode, we will listen slowly. We will repeat sentences together. And we will build a simple daily routine that can help your listening grow naturally. You don't need pressure. You don't need perfection. You only need patience and small steps. And if you stay with me until the end of this episode, you will discover how listening practice can become something peaceful, something simple, and something that fits into your everyday life. So wherever you are right now, sitting, walking, or relaxing, let's begin this listening journey together. Now, let me ask you a simple question. When you listen to English, what do you usually do? Do you only listen? Or do you sometimes repeat the words? Many learners only listen. They play a video or a podcast and they try to understand. This is good. Listening is very important. But there is a small technique that can make your listening practice much stronger. This technique is called shadowing. Maybe you have heard this word before. Maybe it sounds a little technical, but shadowing is actually very simple. Shadowing means listening to a sentence and repeating it out loud. You hear the sentence, then you say the same sentence. Like a shadow follows a person, your voice follows the sound. This is powerful because your brain begins to connect three things at the same time: your ears, your mouth, and your memory. When you only listen, your brain is passive. But when you listen and repeat, your brain becomes active. You start noticing pronunciation. You start noticing rhythm. You start noticing how English sentences move. And slowly, English begins to feel more natural. Many students think they must understand every word before they repeat. But this is another myth. You do not need to understand everything. In fact, sometimes your brain learns faster when you simply follow the sound. Think about how children learn language. Children hear sounds and repeat them. They do not analyze grammar. They do not translate. They simply imitate. Shadowing works in a similar way. Your brain listens, copies, and slowly improves. So let me show you how you can do it. The process is very simple. First, you listen to a sentence. Second, you repeat the sentence slowly. Third, you try to copy the rhythm of the voice. Do not worry about mistakes. Do not worry if your pronunciation is not perfect. Your goal is only to try. Now, let's do a very small shadowing practice together. I will say a sentence, then I will give you a moment to repeat. Ready? Listen carefully. I am learning English step by step. Now repeat after me slowly. I am learning English step by step. Good. Let's try another one. Listen first. Every day my listening becomes a little better. Now you say it. Every day my listening becomes a little better. Very nice. Let's try one more. Listen carefully. I do not need to be perfect. I only need to practice. Now repeat. I do not need to be perfect. I only need to practice. Excellent. You see, this is shadowing. Very simple, but very powerful. Even if your pronunciation feels strange, that is okay. Even if you miss a word, that is okay too. Your brain is still learning. Every time you hear English, your ears become more familiar with the sound. And every time you repeat, your mouth becomes more comfortable with the language. Think about shadowing like a small daily workout. Not a heavy workout, just a gentle training for your ears and your voice. A few minutes can already help. And when you repeat this habit every day, something interesting begins to happen. English stops feeling like a foreign sound. It begins to feel familiar, like a voice you recognize. And that is exactly what we want. Because listening improves when English becomes a normal sound in your life. Now that you understand this idea of shadowing, let's move to an important question. A question many learners ask themselves. How can I practice listening every day, even when my life is busy? Maybe you are thinking something like this. I want to improve my English, but I don't have enough time. Or maybe this thought sounds familiar. My day is full. Work, family, responsibilities. Where can I study English? Some learners also say this. I try to study, but I feel tired. My brain is already full. And sometimes people think, if I cannot study for 1 hour, maybe it is not useful. But here is the good news. Listening practice does not need long study sessions. You do not need a perfect schedule. You do not need a quiet classroom. In fact, listening works best when it becomes part of your normal daily life. Small moments, simple moments, moments that already exist in your day. For example, imagine a normal morning. You wake up, you walk to the kitchen. Maybe you prepare coffee or tea. While the water is heating, you could listen to 2 minutes of English. Or maybe you are putting on your shoes before leaving home. That small moment is another opportunity to hear English. Many people think learning only happens when we sit at a desk, but the brain can learn during many activities. While walking, while cleaning a table, while waiting for a train, while organizing your bag. These moments may look small, but small moments repeated every day become powerful. Think about drops of water. One drop is small, but many drops fill a glass. And the same idea works with listening practice. A few minutes today, a few minutes tomorrow, a few minutes next week. Slowly, your ears become stronger. Your brain begins recognizing sounds faster, and English starts feeling more natural. So today I want to share something helpful with you. Instead of thinking about studying English, think about living with English. Let English appear in your day like a quiet background sound, like music in a cafe, like rain outside a window. It is there, gently, helping your brain learn. In this episode, I will show you several simple ways you can practice listening every day. These ways are easy. They do not require special tools. They do not require perfect English. They only require curiosity and small daily effort. Some of these ways can happen while you move, some while you relax, some while you speak to yourself, and you may discover that English practice fits naturally into places you never expected. Before we continue, let me say something quickly. If this episode is helping you feel more confident about your English learning, you can support the channel in a very simple way. You can gently press the like button. This helps more learners discover Daily English Whisper. And if you continue listening with me, you will learn several small habits that can make your listening practice easier and more enjoyable. So now, let's explore the first simple way to bring English listening into your everyday life. The first simple way is this. Give English a quiet place in your day. Not a big place, not a difficult place, just a quiet place. This is important because many learners only listen to English in random moments. One day, yes. 3 days, no. Then maybe again on the weekend. But listening grows faster when your brain starts expecting English at the same time each day. When English has a regular place in your routine, your mind becomes more ready. It stops feeling strange. It starts feeling normal. So instead of asking, when can I study English? Try asking, where does English already fit in my day? Maybe your quiet place is not in the morning. Maybe your mornings are too busy. Maybe your quiet place is in the late afternoon, when you fold clothes and put them away. Maybe it is while you polish your shoes for tomorrow. Maybe it is while you water the plants on your balcony. Maybe it is while you clean your glasses, your watch, or your work bag before the next day begins. These are not the most common study moments, and that is exactly why they work. They feel real. They feel possible. You do not need a perfect desk with perfect light and a perfect notebook. You only need one small part of the day where English can enter your life again and again. Let me give you an example. Imagine that every evening, before dinner, You spend 7 minutes doing small things around the house. You open a window. You move a chair. You prepare the table. You wash 1 or 2 cups. That can become your English moment. You press play. You listen to slow, clear English. You do not need to stop everything. You simply let English stay with you. At first, maybe you understand only some words. That is okay. Your job is not to control every sentence. Your job is to stay close to the sound. And if you can, repeat 1 or 2 lines. That is already a strong practice. Let's do a small shadowing moment together. Listen first. English can be part of my normal day. Now repeat after me slowly. English can be part of my normal day. Very good. Listen to the next one. I do not need a perfect time. I need a real time. Now you say it. I do not need a perfect time. I need a real time. Excellent. That sentence matters because many learners wait for the perfect moment. A free hour, a quiet house, more energy, less stress. But the perfect moment often never comes. Real progress usually begins in ordinary life, in the small spaces, in the almost invisible moments. So choose one daily action you already do. Not a big action, a simple one. Maybe when you prepare your lunch for the next day. Maybe when you brush your jacket and hang it near the door. Maybe when you sort papers on your desk. Maybe when you feed your cat or open the curtains in the evening. Attach English to that action. Action first, English second, again and again. Soon your brain will connect them, and this makes the habit easier. You no longer need to ask yourself, should I practice today? Because the moment itself reminds you, the action becomes the signal, and the signal brings the English. This first way is powerful because it removes pressure. It tells your brain, we are not doing something big and scary. We are doing something small and normal. That feeling is important. When learning feels lighter, you continue. When it feels too heavy, many people stop. So please remember this. You do not need to create a new life to learn English. You only need to place English softly inside the life you already have. Even 5 or 7 calm minutes each day can help your listening more than one long stressful session that you do only once in a while. And if some days are messy, that is okay too. Life is not always clean and organized. Some days are noisy. Some days are tiring. Some days your mind feels far away. But if you return the next day, you are still building something strong. Little by little, step by step, sound by sound, even a few minutes help. You are improving more than you think. Now let's explore another powerful way to improve your listening. This way is simple, but many learners forget about it. The second way is this. Listen to English while your body is moving. Many people think learning must happen while sitting still, at a desk, with a notebook, with a serious face. But your brain can actually learn very well while your body is active. In fact, when your body moves, your mind often becomes more relaxed. And when your mind is relaxed, listening becomes easier. So instead of thinking, I must stop everything to study English, try thinking like this. I can bring English with me while I move. Imagine a quiet walk, not a fast walk, just a calm walk around your neighborhood. Maybe you walk past small shops. Maybe you walk past trees. Maybe you walk past houses with small gardens. During that walk, you can listen to slow English. You do not need to focus on every sentence. Your brain simply hears the language. And this constant contact with the sound of English slowly builds familiarity. Let me give you another example. Imagine you are organizing a shelf. You take one book, you move another. You clean a small space with a cloth. Your hands are busy, but your ears are free. This is a perfect moment for listening. English can play quietly while you move things around. Your brain listens in the background. And sometimes, suddenly, you recognize a sentence. You understand a phrase. It feels like a small discovery. These moments are powerful because they show your brain that English is becoming familiar. Now let's try another short shadowing moment together. Listen carefully. English can travel with me during my day. Now repeat after me slowly. English can travel with me during my day. Very good. Let's try another one. Listen first. My ears learn English even when I am moving. Now repeat. My ears learn English even when I am moving. Excellent. You see something interesting here. Your body and your brain can learn together. You do not always need a quiet study room. Sometimes the best learning happens during real life. Maybe you are washing vegetables in the kitchen. Maybe you are folding a map after a short trip. Maybe you are adjusting the seat in your car. Maybe you are packing your bag for tomorrow. All of these moments can become listening practice. And something important happens when English enters these ordinary activities. English stops feeling like homework. It starts feeling like a companion. A voice that walks with you. A voice that stays with you while you move through your day. Another advantage of this method is that it removes pressure. You are not asking your brain to understand everything. You are simply allowing your ears to stay connected with English sounds. Think about music. When you hear a song many times, you start recognizing the melody. Even if you do not try, even if you are doing something else, language works in a similar way. The more your ears hear the rhythm of English, the more natural it becomes. So next time you move your body during the day, ask yourself a simple question. Can English join me right now? Maybe the answer is yes. Maybe only for 5 minutes. Maybe while you walk from one place to another. These small listening moments are like tiny bridges between your daily life and the English language. And the more bridges you build, the easier it becomes to cross into understanding. So, remember this. Listening practice does not always require extra time. Sometimes it only requires a small change in how you use the time you already have. Even while moving, even while doing simple things, your ears are learning. And every moment you listen, your brain becomes more comfortable with English. You are building familiarity. You are building rhythm. You are building confidence. Little by little, step by step, your listening becomes stronger. Let's continue with another simple way to improve your listening. This way is a little different. It is not only about listening, it is about talking back to the audio. The third way is this. Create small conversations with the voice you hear. Many learners listen to English like they are watching television. They listen quietly, they stay silent, they wait for the audio to finish. But listening becomes much stronger when you interact with the sound. When you react, when you answer, when you repeat ideas in your own voice, think of it like a small invisible conversation. The voice speaks, and you respond. This method helps your brain stay awake while listening. Instead of being passive, you become part of the language. Let me show you what this can look like. Imagine you are listening to a sentence like this. The weather feels calm this morning. You hear the sentence. Then you answer with a simple thought. Maybe you say, "Yes, the morning feels calm today." Or maybe you say, "This morning feels peaceful." You are not repeating exactly. You are responding. Your brain is using the idea to create language. This is a powerful training moment because now your listening and your speaking are connected. And when these two skills connect, language becomes much stronger. Let's try a small example together. Listen carefully. I enjoy listening to English during quiet moments. Now repeat after me slowly. I enjoy listening to English during quiet moments. Very good. Now let's respond to the idea. You could say something like this. I also like quiet moments with English. Say it slowly. I also like quiet moments with English. Excellent. Now another one. Listen carefully. My listening improves little by little. Now repeat. My listening improves little by little. Good. Now respond with your own voice. You could say, yes, progress can be slow but real. Repeat after me. Yes, progress can be slow but real. Very nice. These small responses create something important in your brain. They create participation. You are not only hearing English, you are joining the language. This is similar to how conversations work in real life. People speak. Then someone responds. Then another idea appears. Language becomes alive. You can practice this technique in many simple moments. Maybe you are sitting on a park bench for a few minutes. Maybe you are waiting for a friend. Maybe you are early for an appointment. Instead of scrolling on your phone, you could listen to 2 or 3 sentences and respond quietly. Even whispering the response is enough. Your brain is still practicing. Another example could happen while you prepare food. Imagine you are slicing fruit. You hear a sentence. Then you answer while you continue your activity. You do not need perfect grammar. Your only goal is to participate. And something interesting happens when learners start doing this. Their fear of speaking slowly disappears. Because speaking becomes normal, it becomes something small and natural. Not a big test, just another moment in the day. Before we continue, I want to ask you something small. If this episode is helping you feel more relaxed about your English learning, you can write a short comment under the video. You could write something simple like, I practice listening every day. Or maybe, listening helps my confidence. Your comment can inspire other learners around the world who are also building their English step by step. And if you stay with me until the end of this episode, we will explore one more powerful way to make listening practice part of your everyday life. A way that uses very small habits but can transform your connection with English. For now, remember this simple idea. Listening becomes stronger when you join the conversation. Even if the conversation is only between you and the voice in your headphones. You are practicing. You are improving. And every small response you make is another step forward in your English journey. Now let's explore the final main way to improve your listening. This way is very powerful because it changes how you see English. The idea is simple. Let English live inside your daily environment. Many learners treat English like a visitor. They open the door for a short moment. Then they close the door again. English appears only during study time. But language grows faster when it becomes part of your surroundings. Like light in a room, like music in a cafe. It is simply there. This last way is about creating very small habits that bring English closer to your everyday life. These habits do not require long study sessions. They only require small moments of attention. Let's imagine the first small habit. You open your phone in the morning. Maybe the first thing you see is the weather, or a message, or your calendar. This moment happens every day. You can turn it into a tiny listening opportunity. You open a short English audio, maybe only 30 seconds, maybe one sentence. You listen once, then you repeat the sentence softly, even before your day really begins. For example, imagine you hear this sentence: "Today is a quiet day to practice something small." Now repeat after me. Today is a quiet day to practice something small. Good. That is already a listening moment. It took less than a minute, but your brain already heard English today. Now imagine another small habit. At the end of the day, when everything becomes calmer, maybe you sit down for a moment. Maybe you are removing your shoes. Maybe you are turning off the lights in your home. This is another perfect micro moment. You can listen to one short English sentence, then repeat it. Let's try one together. Listen carefully. My English grows with small daily actions. Now repeat slowly. My English grows with small daily actions. Excellent. These tiny moments may look very small, but they create something powerful. They create continuity. Your brain begins to see English not as a task, but as a natural part of life. Another small habit you can try is something very simple: recording your own voice. You do not need an audience. You do not need to share it. Just open your phone recorder. Speak one sentence about your day. For example, you could say, "Today I practiced listening for a few minutes." Say it slowly. Today I practiced listening for a few minutes. Then listen to your own voice. This moment connects listening and speaking in a very personal way. Your brain hears English from you. Another gentle micro-habit could happen during quiet moments of reflection. Maybe you are looking out of a window. Maybe you are sitting in a quiet room. Maybe you are watching the evening sky change color. In that calm moment, you can repeat one English sentence you remember from earlier. Just one sentence. Not 10, not 20. One sentence is enough. These micro-habits work because they are realistic. They do not require extra energy. They simply connect English with moments that already exist in your day. And when English appears in many small places, something beautiful begins to happen. Your brain stops seeing English as something distant. It begins to feel familiar, friendly, normal. And this is when listening improves the most, because your ears are no longer meeting English for the first time. They are meeting an old friend, a sound they recognize, a rhythm they understand a little more each day. So remember this final way. Do not wait for the perfect study session. Let English appear in many small corners of your life. In the morning, in quiet pauses, in evening reflections, in short whispers of practice. These small habits may look simple, but over time they build something very strong, a daily relationship with the English language. And that relationship is what slowly transforms listening into understanding. Let's continue exploring how these small habits can grow into something powerful. Because once English begins living inside your daily environment, you can expand these habits a little more. Not with pressure, not with long study sessions, but with small, natural actions. Imagine one more tiny habit. You finish a normal activity. Maybe you just closed a book. Maybe you just washed your hands. Maybe you just stepped outside to feel fresh air for a moment. Right after that small action, you say one English sentence about the moment. For example, imagine you just stepped outside and the air feels cool. You could say quietly, "The air feels fresh right now." Let's practice it together. Listen first. The air feels fresh right now. Now repeat slowly. The air feels fresh right now. Good. Now imagine a different situation. Maybe you just finished organizing your desk. Your papers are in order. Your space feels calm. You could say something simple like this: "My desk looks clean and ready." Listen carefully. "My desk looks clean and ready." Now repeat. "My desk looks clean and ready." Very nice. These small sentences do something important. They connect real-life experiences with English language. Your brain begins linking English with the world around you, not only with books or study materials. Another small habit you can build is something very quiet and personal. At the end of the day, think about one moment you remember clearly. Maybe a short walk, maybe a conversation, maybe something funny that happened. Now describe that moment in one simple English sentence. For example, "Today I noticed a colorful bird near my window." Listen carefully. "Today I noticed a colorful bird near my window." Now repeat. "Today I noticed a colorful bird near my window." Excellent. These moments of reflection help your listening and speaking grow together. Because when you repeat sentences like this, you are also remembering sounds you heard earlier. Your brain begins storing patterns, little pieces of language that slowly become familiar. Another gentle habit you can try is repeating one sentence you liked during the day. Maybe during this episode you hear a sentence that feels meaningful. You can repeat it again later, maybe while you are brushing your teeth. Maybe while you are closing your laptop, maybe while you are waiting for water to boil. For example, earlier we said this sentence: "My English grows with small daily actions." Let's repeat it again together. My English grows with small daily actions. One sentence repeated during the day can become a strong memory, because repetition tells the brain something important. It tells the brain, "This sentence matters," and over time, these sentences become part of how you naturally speak. Something else happens when you practice these micro habits. Your confidence begins to change. You stop thinking, "I must study English." Instead, you begin feeling, "I am someone who lives with English." This identity shift is powerful, because learning becomes part of who you are. Not something external, not something distant, just something present in your life. A quiet skill growing in the background. And the more you create these small moments with English, the easier listening becomes. Your ears begin recognizing familiar sounds. Your brain begins predicting words. Understanding arrives more quickly, all because of many tiny actions repeated during the day. And this is the real secret behind strong listening skills. Not intensity, but consistency. Not long sessions, but many small connections with the language. And when these connections appear again and again, English stops feeling foreign. It begins feeling like something you know, something you recognize, something you can slowly understand. And that transformation begins with very small habits, repeated day after day. Before we finish today's episode, let's take a quiet moment to remember the main idea we explored together. Today we talked about listening practice with slow, clear English, and how you can build a daily shadowing routine that fits naturally into your life. We discovered something important. Listening does not improve only through long study sessions. Listening grows through small daily contact with the language. Small moments, simple repetitions, short sentences, and gentle listening habits. When English appears again and again in your day, your brain begins to relax around the language. And when the brain relaxes, understanding begins to grow. Today we explored several simple ways to bring English listening into your life. We talked about giving English a quiet place in your routine. We talked about listening while your body is moving. We talked about answering the voice you hear and turning listening into a small conversation. And finally, we explored micro habits that allow English to appear in many small corners of your day. Each of these ideas follows the same secret principle: small actions, repeated often. So here is a simple sentence that captures the heart of today's episode. A small sentence you can remember easily. Listen carefully. Small daily listening creates real understanding. Let's repeat it together. Small daily listening creates real understanding. Very good. One more time, slowly. Small daily listening creates real understanding. Excellent. That sentence can guide your learning journey. Because fluency is not built in one dramatic moment. It grows quietly, through repeated contact with the language, through gentle listening, through small daily effort. You can also begin replacing tiny parts of your normal routine with English. For example, when you write a short to-do note for tomorrow, you can write it in English. Maybe something simple like, buy fruit, call a friend, finish reading one page. These small written moments connect your daily life with the language. Or maybe you watch 5 minutes of television before sleeping. Sometimes you can choose a short English video instead. Even if you only understand part of it, your ears are learning. Or maybe you greet yourself in English when you start the day. You could say quietly, "Today I practice a little English." These small replacements create something powerful. They turn English into part of your identity, not only a subject you study, but a skill that lives with you, a language that slowly becomes part of your thinking, part of your voice, part of your daily rhythm. And when that happens, progress begins to feel natural. It no longer feels like a difficult mountain. It feels like a path you walk every day, step by step, sound by sound. If you continue walking this path, your listening will improve, your confidence will grow, and one day you will notice something surprising. English will start feeling familiar, comfortable, almost like a second home for your mind. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Daily English Whisper. If you enjoyed practicing with this episode, you can subscribe to the channel so we can continue learning together. New episodes are here to help you listen, repeat, and grow your English step by step. And before we say goodbye, I want you to remember something. Every time you listen, every time you repeat a sentence, every time you try again, you are moving forward. Even if progress feels slow sometimes, it is still progress. And I am proud of the effort you are making today. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep bringing English into the small moments of your life. This is Max from Daily English Whisper. Take care of yourself, keep learning, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.